Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday, the 1st of December 2025. In today's Millwall news, we got a couple of post-match comments and then we'll look ahead to the week. This is from the southernnews.co.uk. Alex Neil explains what Mill's 3-2 win over Southampton showed about his team. Alex Neil said Mill's comeback to beat Southampton 3-2 on Saturday typifies his side's robustness. The Lions came from a goal behind to lead 2-1 with 5 minutes remaining before Finn Azaz bundled in a late goal that looked to have rescued a point for the Saints. Mill pressed for a winner in early time and were rewarded for their efforts when Tristan Kramer scored in the 97th minute to give Neil's side a remarkable win at the Den. Neil has previously questioned his side's robustness in their 4-0 loss away to Birmingham City earlier in the month, but said their resilience on Saturday reflected their usual standards rather than an outlier. I think we've got it, and that's why I was a bit disappointed with it. And that's the easy answer for that, because I think they've shown so many times since I've been here that we normally deal with setbacks really well. And there's normally a good reaction, isn't there? We get after it and we're aggressive and we try to win. Today probably typified that, more than any other game since I've been here. Particularly playing against the quality of opposition and in the manner in which we won it. Okay. And post-match comment number 2, southernnews.co.uk again. Mill boss, why dramatic Southampton win could be the springboard for a strong December? Well, I think it has to be. December seems to be quite a tough month, but then, on paper, it's all tough, innit, It's all tough. Alex Neil hopes Mill's dramatic 3-2 win over Southampton will give them momentum as they head into a busy December. The sides were tied at 2-2, we know all that, yada yada yada. The Den erupted into bedlam with Neil sprinting down a touchline to join his players' celebrations. It's the best way to win a game, Neil said after the game. When we conceded a last-minute equaliser at Oxford, that hampered us probably for the next couple of games. Whereas hopefully today will be a springboard to give us an opportunity to go and try get a few more points on the board. Neil expanded why he thought it was the best way to win. The feeling that it leaves you with afterwards, I hark back to the Oxford game because that felt like a defeat, although it was a draw. When you do win the game in the manner in which we did today, I think it's great for the players to get that euphoria with a last-minute winner. It's brilliant for the fans, and they'll now get carried away, and we're going to win the league by 10 points and all that sort of stuff. And that's part and parcel of football, and that's why we love it, isn't it? We go to games to be entertained and to watch games like that finish that way. Indeed, statement win. Mentioned it the other day. Statement win. We hadn't beaten Southampton at home in a League or Cup in 12 attempts since 1977. Well, there you go. We just did it. Bosh. That's in the history books. Done it. Statement win. And it was the same first game of the season away at Carrow Road against Norwich. We hadn't beaten them in 20 or so visits up to Carrow Road since, 1968? Well, we just did it then. We just done it. We've done it. That's it. So there you go. Hopefully it's not going to be as long before we win at these places again, but you never know. So, yeah. Now, a look to the week ahead. The future. Let's look to the future. This is from millfc.co.uk. To the future tomorrow, the future on Wednesday, and the future on Thursday. So a bit of a busy week, apparently. All you need to know ahead of a busy week in SC16. Our first team under 21s and under 18s are all in action this week, featuring in Sky Bet Championship Professional Development League action, as well as our FA Youth Cup campaign getting underway. And let's go through. So today is Monday. It's Cyber Monday. This is the last day that you can get up to 40% off on the Lions store. It's online, so by the time you watch this, stop watching, go to the Lions store and buy stuff if you were going to buy it anyway, because you'll get the discount. If you don't, you're going to miss out. So if you're watching this after midnight on Monday, you're too late. You now have to spend even more money. So there you go. On Tuesday, that's tomorrow, Kevin Nugent's under-21 side face a trip to the northwest as they face Wigan Athletic at 1 p.m. Supporters can follow along with the action on our Academy social media pages with a report to follow the final whistle at Christopher Park, which is their training ground. So I don't believe you can go to watch the game. And I'm not sure, obviously, whether the amount of rain, obviously it rains so much in the northwest that I imagine the pitchers are probably used to the rain and they're used to dealing with it. It's rained a lot over the past day, so it might get postponed hopefully before the players make the trip all the way up there, but clearly probably not before they've all woken up early to get the coach. On Wednesday, apparently they're going to do the goal of the month for November. On Thursday, Alex Steele's doing a preview, and there is the supporters can visit the Den for our annual Christmas Tree of Remembrance service, which will take place in Harry's Bar, with doors opening at 6 p.m. Full details can be found here. So we'll be looking at that in a minute. Christmas Tree of Remembrance. Thursday the 4th of December, 7 to 9 p.m. On Friday, Millwall under-18s host Everton in the FA Youth Cup as they enter the competition in the third round. Supporters can join us at the Den or watch the match on Millwall TV. Kick-off for that one is at 7 p.m, so there you go. The game is going to be shown on the Millwall TV. Entry is just £5. It's at the Den. I recommend getting down there. Cup football under the lights is always cracking at the Den, whether it's the under-18s, the under-21s, or the first team. You get a decent game, you get a decent effort, you get blood, guts, and thunder on the pitch. It's well worth, certainly well worth the £5 for a full ticket or £1 for a child's ticket. Saturday, obviously the first team are away at Bristol. Tickets still on sale for that, so. They're still available. So if you wanted to go to an away game and you've been disappointed trying to get to go to places like QPR away, Charlton away, and that, Bristol City probably not one you wanted, but you got to take what you can get in it. So there you go. Tickets are still available. So let's move on to this, talking about that under-21s game coming up tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't get postponed because I'm gonna read all this fantastically well written preview. Millwall under-21s travel to Greater Manchester to take on Wigan Athletic in the Professional Development League on Tuesday afternoon. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Millwall under-21s' last match was a Premier League Cup group stage trip to Swansea City, where Kevin Nugent's side fell to a narrow 2-1 defeat. Jack Howland was on the score sheet, but goals from Morgan Bates and Caleb Demery were enough to give the Swans all 3 points. However, the Young Lions have been in excellent league form, of late, collecting 9 points from a possible 9 in November with a 4-1 away triumph over Bristol City, a 3-1 win at the Den over AFC Bournemouth, and a Calmet Road victory in an all-London clash with Queen's Park Rangers. The Lactics come into this clash on the back of 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat from their last 5 in all competitions, with victories over Coventry City by an astonishing 9 goals to 0. What happened there? Did the goalie get sent off? What the hell? Sheffield United Barnsley in another 9-goal game which ended 7-2. Whoa! What? Have they got a ringer in the team? How are they doing that? Which ended 7-2 to the Greater Manchester side in PDO action. Their last match was a goalless stalemate at Fleetwood Town, to make it 10 points from a possible 12 from their last 4 matches. The most recent defeat came in a trip to Sheffield Wednesday where they suffered a 2-1 loss. So I would say that suggests their home games, they're probably putting some first team players in them, and the away games they're not, which is why they're smashing teams at home. Can you imagine putting the first team striker in? But there you go. Wigan under-21 sit 4th in the northern side of the PDL, split on 17 points from 13 matches. scoring 31 and conceding 28. The top scorer for Tuesday's hosts is Cole Sims, who has 3 goals in the PDL this season, putting him halfway to his tally from the previous campaign. They finished 10th in the north side of the PDL split last campaign. Under 21s regular Harrison Bertoni earned his first Sky Bet League 1 appearance on the 22nd of November in an away clash at AFC Wimbledon, with the 18-year-old scoring with his first touch to equalise direct from a free kick before completing his brace in Wigan's comeback as he neared 3 minutes before the end of regular time to make it 2-1. What? They put a guy from their under 21s in the first team, and he scored from a free kick, and then he scored at the end of the game for them to win 2-1 after being 1-0 down. 18-year-old. Jesus. Maybe Steve Gallen, you want to scout the lad? Leading Wigan is Chris Brown, who took over the side in February 2024 after previously working in lower age groups of the academy set up at Wigan. The 30-year-old has additional managerial experience in youth football at Rochdale AFC with their under-18 side. Brown has overseen 9th and 10th place finishes, but has his side up in 4th at this stage of the PDL campaign. Last time out. The last time the two sides met was on 29th of April at the Brick Community Stadium. So that was actually in their stadium, not at the training ground. But the Young Lions running out 2-1 victors away from home in the PDL. Harrison Bertoni opened the scoring for the hosts early in the second half, but Kevin Nugent's men hit back quickly to equalise from the penalty spot after 51 minutes as AJ Matthews scored from the spot, his final goal of a 12-goal campaign. The comeback was complete 12 minutes from time as Jack Howland popped up with a winner to secure the 3 points. From the last 3 encounters, Millwall under-21s have a perfect head-to-head record with 3 wins out of 3, scoring 10 across these matches. So there you go. Updates obviously on the X account or on your live betting, in-play betting on Ladbrokes. That's what I use to keep up to date with it. That's the penalty there, AJ Matthews. So moving on, which one is this? Okay, this is the Christmas Tree of Remembrance, which is coming up on Thursday. So Millwall Football Club is pleased to announce that the annual Christmas Tree of Remembrance service will be taking place at the Den on Thursday the 4th of December. Sponsored by Millwall Supporters Club, fans will be given the opportunity to write a message on a wooden heart to remember a loved one, which will then be hung on the Lions' Christmas tree. The service, led by Father Owen Beaumont MBE, will commence at 7 p.m. Gates to Harry's Bar will open at 6 p.m. and it's free for everyone to attend. Hot drinks and mince pies will be available for all attendees, with Harry's Bar remaining open for those that wish to purchase further refreshments. The main car park at the Den, meanwhile, will be available on a first-come, first-served basis with limited availability. And obviously, they want you to book your free place. Even though it's free, they want you to book because obviously they want to know how many mince pies they have to buy at Tesco's. So, book your free place below, and don't forget to wrap up warm as the service will take place outside. And you can book your free place by going to the ticket website at Millwall, the same one that's there. Talking of tickets, we have announcement. When are these going on sale? They're going on sale tomorrow. This is Blackburn Rovers away, which is the last game before Christmas, which is usually not well attended. It's an away game, so... And this is a fixture it's a horrible fixture, isn't it? It's a horrible fixture. Really, went up there the other year. They postponed it late in the day because of the rain or something. Piss poor results all the time. Piss poor performances. Remember the game with Gary Rowett was manager? We didn't even have a shot on goal, and it finished 0-0. But yeah, if you want to go to this one, I mean, I don't imagine there'll be a rush for tickets for this one. But maybe people got the week off and they want to go to it. Mill travel to Blackburn Rovers and Sky Bet Championship on Saturday 20th of December, and this is it's kick-off at 12:30. Kick-off at 12:30. Yikes. And tickets will go on sale to season ticket holders from 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday the 2nd of December. That's tomorrow, by the way. Tickets are priced at £28 for adults, £25 for over 65s, £22 for under 24s, £17 for under 18s, and £12 for under 12s. So tickets will go on sale on Tuesday, tomorrow, to season ticket holders, and on Thursday to members. It's a Thursday for members. We have an initial allocation of 1,089 tickets. Coaches will leave the den at 4:30 a.m. 4:30 a.m. Priced at £44. 4:30 a.m. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. For a 12:30 game. Jeez. So there you go. I mean, I wonder if we'll sell all those tickets. I mean, if we're near the top of the table, maybe. But maybe, here's the thing. Maybe you organise a Christmas party away. Obviously, clearly not in Blackburn, because Blackburn's a shithole. Blackpool. Somewhere, Manchester, nearby. And you go to the game on a Saturday. Stag do, I don't know, some kind of shit. I don't know. Any reason to buy a ticket, I don't know. Figure something out. Your Christmas party. Halfway across the country. So, moving on to this. They're doing a half-season ticket for the Millwall TV video pass, which is available for international people to watch live games. So if you didn't know this, there's a restriction on Saturday 3 o'clock games being shown live in the UK and Ireland, but there isn't in the rest of the world. So it's blacked out in the UK and Ireland, and you can't watch it unless you pay your £10 per game to Millwall and use a VPN on your tablet, I would say an iPad, or your laptop, and you watch it like that. And you can connect those devices to a television and watch it through that, or screen it or something, mirror it. So yeah, they're doing a half-season ticket for this. So Millwall Football Club is delighted to confirm that half-season live Millwall TV video passes are now on sale. International supporters can purchase a half-season pass from today, Monday the 1st of December, until Sunday the 1st of February for just £90. After this date, you will only be able to purchase a monthly pass for the remainder of 25-26. Keep up to date with the lines wherever you are in the world and back the boys. Elsewhere, match passes will be available for £10 on a game-by-game basis. Again, subject to broadcast rights. So this is a thing as well. The EFL sells certain games around the world to broadcasters, to a broadcast company, which has links with TV companies in each country. In certain countries, not all countries, but in most countries, if the EFL sell one of our games abroad, then that game will be blacked out in your country on this system. You won't be able to use Millwall TV to watch it. You're going to have to use the local broadcaster, whether that's CBS Sports in America, whoever it is in Satanta Sports in Kazakhstan, whatever, And a reminder, all Millwall TV packages do not include the FA Cup or Carabao Cup due to competition regulations. For any game unable to be streamed on Millwall TV, live video commentary will be made available. So again, you're paying for a half-season ticket pass, but you might not get all the games that you think you're going to be getting. Now, moving on, talking about global issues, moving on to something interesting that popped up today. This is from watfordobserver.co.uk, which is a local Watford paper. And they're talking about one of their players missing the festive period as AFCON call-up confirmed. So Kiembe to miss festive period as AFCON call-up confirmed. Edo Kiembe. He's going to miss Watford's hectic festive fixture schedule after his Dr. Congo call-up for the African Cup of Nations was confirmed. The midfielder was selected in coach Sebastian Desabri's squad on Monday and will leave Hertfordshire for the tournament in Morocco later in December. Yes, December. Now, normally, the AFCON, whatever, they keep changing the name because they switch between English and French. It's AFCON at the moment. It usually held in like mid-January. They're holding it in December. It's going to start December the 20th. Kiemba's departure date is not yet definite, but with Dr. Congo's opening match against Benin set to be played on Tuesday, December the 23rd, he will likely miss the home game against Stoke City. So this got me thinking, and then they go down. Final group matches are played at the end of 2025, and the knockout stages are played at the start of 2026. And they say that means the midfielder is certain to miss games against Leicester City, Norwich City and Birmingham City between Boxing Day and New Year's Day, with his involvement in trips to Hull City at the FA Cup and the home game against Millwall on January 17th also in doubt. So this popped up because obviously Millwall were involved, Millwall mentioned, and that got me thinking, are we going to have a touch? We got a bit of luck coming our way, because we don't have. Do we have any African players? Don't think so. I don't think. Yeah. And now they say, look. So this is the only one that's been confirmed yet. They say they've got another player that was called up for DR Congo in March, but he hasn't featured since, and he hasn't been called up. But there are other squads that they're waiting for announced, so they could be missing all of these players. Mamadou Doumbia from Mali, Kevin Kemben for Cameroon, Formos Mendy and Papa Mendy for Senegal, Imran Louza and Othman Mama from Morocco. They're all in contention, but they're less likely to go. So then, that got me thinking, who are we playing? Do they have African players? Will this help us in this Christmas period? Now, this is a massive blow for the teams that got these players in and they've been missing them. Because you think you've got a game on Boxing Day, 3 days later you've got a game on the Monday, 3 days after that you've got a game, New Year's, whatever, you know. And then 3 days after that you've got the game on the Sunday the 4th. The games are coming thick and fast. You know, we've got our problems with injuries. If they're going to have problems with these players missing. So here we go. It's called the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. It's in Morocco. On the right hand side, the dates are the 21st of December to the 18th of January. There's 24 teams involved. Now obviously the first game is on the 21st, but the players have to go out there. Usually it's 5 days ahead of. It might be longer. So, you know, that game, we got a round of games on the 20th of December. The Blackburn games on the 20th of December. Any Blackburn players going out there? These are the teams that are going to be involved. Morocco, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Algeria, Dr. Congo, Senegal, Egypt, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, Uganda, South Africa, Tunisia, Nigeria, Mali, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Comoros, remember them from the Jimmy Abdu days, Sudan, Benin, Tanzania, Botswana and Mozambique. The games are going to be played in Morocco, right? So, trying to figure out, okay, how can I check this out? Go to this website, fbref.com. They have a nifty little thing where you can check by nationality. And here we go. Of course, the most number of players in this league, in the Championship, they're English players, 315. Next up is Ireland, and then Scotland, and then Wales, and then Northern Ireland, but they're also tied with Denmark and Australia. But that drops off quite a bit. There's only 15 Denmark players, only 15 Northern Irish players, 15 Australians. So there's not after England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, it drops off quite a bit. So we're going down, no Africans yet. Jamaicans, French, quite a few Japanese. The J League is doing quite well, and the economy is not doing too well, so the yen is tanking, so it makes more sense for them to go abroad, make money abroad and send it back to convert it to yens. And we get to the first one down here, number 15, Nigeria. There's 8 Nigerians. Now, obviously, some of these I think are in Nigerian internationals, but I haven't checked which ones might be going. I'm just like, okay, is this gonna affect us? Are our opponents gonna be missing players? So these are the players, Ajayi, I'll say Samuel, Josh Maja, Joe Aribo, obviously this is Southampton, we just played them. Ghana, there's 7 players for Ghana's team. Senegal, there's 7 players for Senegal. But then, we go down, the next one isn't down. Cote d'Ivoire, obviously Richard Kone, QPR's main striker. He's going to be missing for a few games. Love to see it. Fantastic stuff. Especially if Elias Chair is missing as well. So they're going to have, QPR are going to have Kone and Chair missing. I'm sure that's not going to do them too well. Morocco, there's 4 Moroccans. And other than that, there's not much going on. Cameroon 2, Mali 2, the Gambia, but they won in the list of teams that I mentioned. Sierra Leone as well. Algerian, there's 2 Algerians. So it goes down and down and down. You can see there's even a guy from Fiji in the league, but he hasn't played any minutes yet. So, just wanted to show you, we could have a bit of luck coming our way. And we wait to see, obviously, this week when the squads are announced. Then we can get back and have a look. Okay. But before then, so these are the games that are going to be affected by the AFCON. Blackburn Rovers away. Ipswich at the Den. Do Ipswich have any Africans? I don't know. I'll check it out. Obviously, once the squads are announced, I'm sure that the Ipswich press will all say this player's going to be missing for AFCON for the Millwall game. Oh no. Bristol City at the Den. Obviously, we're playing them this Saturday away at the Den on that day. And the news, Southampton. So again, Southampton, Joe Aribo. He's going to be missing. They are going to be missing a player. Well, we know that for a fact. Then we've got the Swansea City at the Den. The FA Cup game is between the Swansea and Watford. But if we go back to this, the Wikipedia for the Cup of Nations, if we go down to the knockout, so the knockout stages start next year. So that'll go, if we go all the way down, it'll probably tell us when they are. No, not that. So yeah, it's gonna shrink down. So realistically, the main one is the 9th and the 10th of January, because that's the round of 16, which is the round before the quarterfinals. For the quarterfinals, there's only 4 teams involved. For the round of 16, it's not a round of 16, is it? It's the round of 8, because there's 8. The round of 8 is on the 9th and 10th of January. So that's going to be when the FA Cup game is, I believe. Yeah. So again, the Watford game, that player that is just mentioned, he probably will be back by then. But you never know. Every little helps. So the main ones are, the ones Southampton going backwards. Blackburn, Ipswich, Bristol City, Southampton. So clearly, when all of the squads are announced, then we can find out which players are going to be missing. Is that going to be helpful to us? Or even if it's not helpful to us, if it just weakens the teams around us, because we won't be missing any players. Well, we are through injury, but not through this. But if the other teams around us are missing players through them going off to AFCON, hopefully, the results will be affected. They'll lose some games, they'll draw some games, they'll drop points. If we just keep winning, we should be Gucci. And we're going to be finishing today's video by talking about this. Yes, Sheffield Wednesday have been handed more points deductions. So they were charged with a thing regarding missed players' wages before. Obviously, they then went into administration, and the going into administration triggers an automatic points deduction. Unless I think they can delay it if it's after a certain date. If it's deemed that you're trying to get it this season rather than next season, because if it goes through this season, you won't be affected and you won't be relegated. If you try to gerrymander it, I think they can delay it till the season after. But so they got triggered an automatic minus 12-point deduction for going into administration. But the case was already ongoing from them, missing players' wages, which they had already been in trouble for. They were, got in trouble for, and they were told, look, don't do this again. We're going to impose these restrictions on you. You can't spend any money doing this or that because, you need to pay your players' wages. They were allowed to sell players, but not sign any, and that was intended, so that they could afford the players' wages. The case that was already ongoing doesn't disappear just because the owner's gone now. They broke the rules, even though obviously it's a different. They're in administration now. They're hopefully going to get some new owners in, and they're going to do well. Apparently, Mike Ashley was bidding for it, and even the owners of Sheffield United, I think maybe American. I'm not sure on that. They were exploring the possibility of buying them and merging. So Sheffield, it's kind of funny that you have a team called Sheffield United when there's actually another team in Sheffield, although I guess Man United is the same thing. You've got Man United and Man City, so it's not really United, is it? There's two different teams. But that was a funny thing to see. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday been handed a further 6-point deduction. Owls were previously given a 12-point deduction in October after the final administration. Wednesday were already bottom of the Championship table, and they now sit on minus 10 points. So it was minus 4, it's now minus 10. This is from SkySports.com. I made a little video about it, but we're not going to watch that. Sheffield Wednesday have been handed a further 6-point deduction by the English Football League. The most recent charges relate to the club's failure to pay players in March, May and June of this year, as well as other non-payments to its staff and HMRC. The Owls were hit with a 12-point deduction on October the 24th after filing for administration. The club currently sits at the bottom of the Championship table and are now on minus 10 points. Further charges could be issued, but there will be no further points penalties, and the current fee restriction will be lifted when a new owner is in place. Why would there be no further points penalties if they break the rules again? I don't know. So an EFL statement read, Sheffield Wednesday FC are to be deducted 6 points with immediate effect for multiple breaches of EFL regulations relating to payment obligations, with the club's former owner, Mr. Defshon Shanziri, prohibited from being an owner or director of any EFL club for a period of 3 years. Wow. So you can fuck a club up, not pay the players, and they only ban you for 3 years. Why not a lifetime ban? Why not a 25-year ban? Why not a 50-year ban? Why is it only a 3-year ban? I guess because it includes just being a director. Obviously, if they prevent him from being an owner, but you can be a director, so I don't know. The sanctions on both the club and Mr. Chanziri can be confirmed after the parties reached an agreement on the appropriate sanction, which was subsequently ratified by the chair of the appointed Independent Disciplinary Commission. So what they agreed to the points deduction. Okay. It feels a lot like kicking a club while it's down. We need to stress that the EFL, who brings these charges, does not set the punishments. It is done by an independent commission. The EFL has no choice but to do this. If there are separate breaches of the rules, they have to charge clubs for doing so. That is exactly what they've done here. I don't think Chanziri will be back on an EFL club anytime soon after his record at Sheffield Wednesday. Let's take it back. They've got an automatic 12-point deduction for going into administration. That is when Chanziri decided he couldn't fund the club any further. After they lost 3-2 to Preston on Saturday, it left them on minus 4 points at the bottom of the Championship, and now they're on minus 10 as it has an immediate impact. They are 23 points behind their nearest rivals, Norwich. They are 27 points from safety. It's fair to assume they are inevitably going to be relegated to League One this season. Yeah, and they'll take that. They'll take that. As long as they get decent owners in and not some demagogue, they're going to be happy with that. But so it looks like Coventry will be going up, Sheffield Wednesday will be going down, and everything else in between is completely and utterly up for grabs. So let's go and get second place. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.